Good morning, y'all. Today is April 12th, starting the day off because it's a little chilly outside still with planting. So I'm going to fill up this entire space under the table here and plant as much as I can. I don't think I'm going to have enough room for everything I want to do, but I'm going to fit as much as I can under here. And look at this nice shelf my dad built the other day. It definitely helped to get all the garden stuff, you know, just out of a pile. We got some dirt here. We got the grow light boxes, planting containers, all the little seed starts, miscellaneous garden planting stuff. And then the red solo cups I'm using down there, which is pretty nice. And then some of the seeds we have in here, we have so many seeds, it's crazy. But it definitely looks so much cleaner out here because they were just all kind of piled in one little spot. I did about half of the planting. It just felt like I was burning good daylight, so I'm going to work on cutting some more grass. Yesterday, or whenever this was, maybe 2 days ago, whenever I started cutting the grass last, it was the first time I didn't have to jump it, so it should be good to go now. So close to finishing, but I ran out of gas, so I'm just gonna pause and do chores and then finish up the last little patch I have out there. After cutting all this tall, thick, wet stuff, it's really nice to clean this out so the deck doesn't rust or anything on it really. So I kind of put it in this low spot here from where they trenched in the water line to the barn. I'm just gonna clean it out here. It's pretty gross under there. The pig pen is still way too disgusting to get in there and do absolutely anything, so probably won't be doing any seeding in there for a little while until it dries up a little more. Probably, I don't know, I think we have 3 or 4 more days that are dry, and then we'll get some rain. Hopefully it dries out before then. I can get some seed down before the rain. I'm just picking up this corral right now, so I got to get this back to the neighbor. He was nice enough to loan me one because I needed just one more, so I want to get that back to him and get this all out of the way. Just about ready to start working on putting the little perimeter chicken net up here. I was gonna get all the coops in that circle first. Went to pull this one and sorry, I was dropping something that was kind of loud. When I was pulling on it, the cable, can't really see it, but the cable snapped. So that's crazy. I'm gonna replace that, and then we'll get this moved over there. The other one will already be in the circle, and still have the meat bird coop over there, so that one's easy enough to drag. I haven't fixed it yet. All right, this should work a little better now. Hopefully won't fall backwards on my butt. Have 4 coops lined up, so at this point in time I could do 30 chickens, 30 chickens, 30 chickens, and 50 chickens, so getting close. I haven't done anything with these 2 yet, so have some work on that. That other one will be in the net. Let me go grab the meat bird coop, and then all of the coops will be in the net. Actually, this one needs some work. Doesn't look too bad, but yeah, I can fix this one pretty quickly, so let me do that before I move it. Well, it looked easy to fix. This thing's actually a little worse for wear than I thought. The whole front is leaning back pretty hard to the point where this door doesn't open and close. And things are just kind of all thrown off. It actually snapped a lot of the screws in there, so it's going to take a minute to get out. I think to push it forward, what I'm going to do is just have a brace, hook it, you know, maybe here to the front to help push that forward a little better. But yeah, it's not really square anymore, so that makes the door a little difficult, but maybe once I get it pushed forward, things will be okay. You can see it's hitting pretty hard there. So it's gonna take a little more than just a couple screws. A couple little boards pushing it forward, and it needed to go to the left a little bit. It could actually still use just a little bit more. You can see it needed to go over a bit, but the door at least opens and closes a lot smoother. There's still a bit of a hitch, but that's mostly when it's completely open, so better than what it was. Need a few more staples to get things secure, but not too terrible. All right, maybe not as good as new, but as close as it's gonna get. Got everything stapled, reinforced. It's still not quite square, but it's not gonna affect anything too much at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead, drag it over, and we'll work on putting this net up. Before it gets too dark, you can kind of see the chicken net area outline there. But I've got all the coops pulled up so that way this one can slot in real nice. Just about done with the net. Not much more to go. And then it's still going to be a little bit before the chickens are actually up and easy to grab. So while I'm still waiting on them, I'm thinking chicken wire around the outside, because whatever killed the roosters is still out there, and it's so easy to dig right under these coops. I only had that one instance last year over the summer. It was a skunk, and then the one over the winter, which was a mink, I think. So don't want anything else getting eaten. So I'm gonna figure something out before it gets too much darker and get the rest of this net up. I did just notice a red light on here. So maybe that has to be green in order for it to work. I still have it turned off at this point, but it's been getting sun all day today. Unfortunately, there's not a great way to tack it on top. I am a little worried about hail because we do get quite a bit of that out here. I don't want that to get torn up just sitting flat. So it only gets the afternoon sun. Hopefully that's going to be enough to keep it charged, but I'll read up on that a little bit. I don't plan on setting it for tomorrow. I might only put 30 birds in there tonight until I'm sure that's gonna work, because I don't want to put 50 birds in there and then all of a sudden I'm not here and that door is not working and it's just too tight for the chickens. So I don't want them to be uncomfortable. But anyways, right now I am gonna figure something out on that chicken wire around the bottom so nothing can dig under. So I looked at all my chicken wire and they're all at least 2.5, 3 feet, if not longer rolls. So I'm gonna need to cut them down. I still gotta figure out exactly how I'm gonna do it. I'll probably screw it to the sides, a couple pieces on the back, long one there, and on the front. It's gonna be kind of hard though, putting it on the front if I'm pulling the coops forward, and then on the turns I'm gonna have to do something. So it's probably, whatever I figure out is going to have to be something that is at least removable and not too much in the chickens' way, because the chickens will be running all around the outsides of the coop this year. So I don't want them getting tripped up any either. So the more I'm thinking about it, and then looking at the light I have left, I think it might be a little more than I can accomplish before it gets dark. So there's not a huge rush. I really wanted to get them out tonight, but there's still a couple colder nights, so it's not the end of the world. But at least the net's set, the coops are laid out, and I can still keep working on the coops because there's plenty of work to do on that. But it would be nice to at least get one completely done. But at least this way I can make sure that little door is working fine tomorrow, and then feel a little better about putting chickens out, knowing that they're safe. There's a few deer way out there. What a beautiful day though. Got a lot accomplished out here for 12 hours, and doesn't look like a lot, but got a lot done. I feel really good about everything. So chickens are going up. I think I'm gonna call it a day. I really wanted to get them out, but within the next couple of days I'll do that and still keep working on these coops. Beautiful moon tonight. It looks like it's a full moon. I didn't look, but that is gorgeous up there. Howdy out. Today is April 13th. I want to give a quick shout out to everyone who drops off just junk food that isn't quite edible anymore. The animals love it, and the celery actually works really well for the mealworms. All right, I've got everything watered, and I moved this table. I also moved the lights up because the plants are getting so tall, they're kind of starting to shade each other out. So now everything has plenty of light once again, and they're tall enough they're still close to it. Actually, when I was moving these up, there's 4 of these little straps. I took 2 off and just looped them around, and that worked. But when I was taking them all off, they fell, and one of them hit right in there, and there was a little spark, a little smoke, and it completely melted one of these. But the light's fine, nothing's harmed, just down 1 strap, but that's fine. So at least they are all up now and getting a little bit better light. Howdy out. Today is April 14th. It was a little too windy to do much recording at the farm, but basically cleaned up the pig pen and propped their shelter up just to kind of get things drying out. Now I'm over at the original farm property where I started my farm. This was actually my original hive stand too, where my very first beehive was. I'm setting up a swarm trap here because I did get lucky last year and caught a swarm on the property. So get that set up and hope we get something. Howdy up. Today is April 16th. Tomorrow I'm going to shake these guys out as long as I remember and have time. I was coming to feed the mealworms in my oldest batch, which was 3-3. We already have one. Where is it? Right there. Let me zoom in, it'll be easier. I already have one that's wanting to start to turn into a beetle. So you see kind of that pale thing right in the middle of the screen? Yeah, so that's crazy. I was gonna let one batch turn into beetles. I guess it'll be this bucket, the other bucket over here. You can see some more white, translucent looking worms. They're just molting. They're not really quite big enough yet to feed or really be turning into beetles, so I'm surprised that one is. Quite interesting though. The other ones, my younger batches, are starting to get a little bigger, but They're still kind of tiny. You can see a couple. I haven't fed them, so they haven't come up to the surface just yet. But yeah, that's crazy to see one's already wanting to turn into a beetle. So today's agenda, originally, I was going to be out here all day getting a lot of things done. However, the grocery store just wrote and said that they need another order of eggs, which I was not expecting. They've been on an every other week rotation, which has been fine, but they wrote less than a week later after I dropped off the last 2 cases. So I need to do that today instead. So I'm gonna get chores done, grab eggs, and then start working on that. Howdy y'all, today is April 17th. The pig hut has been moved. As you can see, it was pretty built up there. I cannot believe that thing got moved. It was just an idea that it'd be nice if we were able to do it, but didn't know if it'd be a possibility. And my dad, genius. So I just showed up at the farm. He was already out here and he had it moved. So very impressive. Thank you for doing that, Dad. I do loosely have some pigs secured. They're going to be coming in a few weeks, so I wanted to have this at least cleaned out for them and something fresh to be on and not this mess. So later today I have a presentation for, I think it's 6-year-olds through high school kids. It's a pretty wide age range. I'm not sure how many kids are going to be there, but I'll be doing a presentation on cow handling. So I'm looking forward to that, but that's later today, so I don't have all day to work on farm stuff today. So I've been kind of working on that presentation. But this morning I do want to work on the coops a little bit, hopefully get some chickens out this weekend. Finally got all the basics out of the way with chores. Now I've been working on this automatic door and I think I have it set up just fine. I may pop the door out just a little further because it's pretty close. It moves up and down just fine. I currently have it set, I think it was 7 in the morning, 6 or 7 in the morning to open, and then I have it sensing the light at night. 30 minutes after it's dark, the door is going to close. So there's a lot of different formats. You can kind of set it up how you want, which is pretty cool. So yeah, the only thing I can see being potentially bad is just this door is so close. If this hardware cloth, chicken wire, anything moves, it's going to stop the door from going up. So it's pretty sensitive, which is nice. I was testing it, putting my hand in, and it stops at the slightest little touch. So I wouldn't want the coop to get in the way and then chickens not be out or closed in when they need to be. The last thing I'd like to do on the coops is put some sort of protection around the bottom. I've had 2 instances and I'd rather not have anything else digging under any coops. So I bought these hooks. I just ran those in kind of sporadically down there. And then just have about 1 foot of chicken wire. I've got it hooked to that. And hopefully this will pull easy. If not, I can always hook it up and keep it out of the way. But I plan on doing this all the way around. That way if a critter comes and tries to dig, it can't because this screen's here. What I'm thinking is this coop will always be on the outside just because it'll have the chicken wire on it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do the fronts just yet because pulling them might be a little difficult, but the backs I'm going to do the same thing. Hooks and chicken wire. And if you're interested, these are the hooks I used here. So nice and deep in the wood. I'm just going to wrap it around and do this on the edge coops. So that one and then the far coop over that way. And then all the coops along the back will have some, and then there'll be something along the front. I generally keep the coops pretty tight, so I don't think I'm going to do anything there. Usually the gap's even a little bit smaller, so I won't bother with that. But I think that'll work pretty good, not add a ton of hassle, and it's easy with the hooks. If I ever need to remove it, just take them off really easily. Seeing as we're in the 60s, it's slightly overcast. Today's a great day to get the tomatoes and a few peppers out. Just slowly get them acclimated. I'll probably be out here for 45 minutes. they're also kind of underneath some shade with these trees here, so that should definitely help them out. I'd like to get them planted outside here in just a couple weeks. Just finished up the presentation. It was a ton of fun. The kids were into it, asking some good questions. Emma the cow was super great. She basically just laid there the whole time, didn't really want to get up, but hopefully the kids learned something. I know I had fun.